Welcome everybody to another CTC software webinar. Today we're going to be talking about Linetype Manager and how to create lines intuitively with that tool. My name is Tony Crick. I'm the Civil Product Manager here at CTC Software. So never miss another webinar again. You can subscribe to our CTC YouTube channel. You can also go to our events page to register for any of our future webinars and see what's coming. So with that, let's get started. So Linetype Manager, part of the Sim Manager suite of tools. It's intended for CAD managers and Civil 3D users supporting a production team. It will work in the last 4 versions of Civil 3D back to version 2020. I will mention that this is being broadcast in January, and Civil 3D Autodesk will be moving to 2025 in March, and we will not support version 2020 any longer. So be sure to upgrade soon. So Linetype Manager, why Linetype Manager? Creating and updating line type definitions in an AutoCAD LIN file is not only confusing and slow, but also error prone with trial and error and lots of error. Does anybody even remember the syntax for those things anyway? Pretty tough. So with Linetype Manager, the tedious chore of line type creation can be made easy and even kind of fun with Linetype Manager. We have a completely new and user-friendly interface for creating line type definitions that you can save to a custom LIN file. Through an intuitive visual interface, you'll see what you're getting while you're creating it. No more back and forth, no more enter, load, look, go back, kind of a tedious thing. And the CAD managers can quickly create and edit line types in an existing LIN file, which will save you time and lots of frustration. And if you've ever wanted to use a line type from another drawing, you can import those existing lines into a custom LIN file and then add those line types to any drawing. All you have to do is open the Linetype Manager, set your path, and load the line type. And then once all your line types are in there, we have filters that can help you find things in a hurry. So no more scrolling, hunting, pecking, what have you. And then you can save those LIN files to a central location where you can share them more easily with all of your users and keep them up to date. You might even have custom LIN files for different clients or entities, government entities. I know a lot of them have specific line types they like to see, especially for their utilities and things like that. And best of all, it's free. So let's get into the drawing. So as I mentioned, it is a free tool. I know that sounds crazy. And how do we get it? Well, we can just come and we can go to our website and load the trial version of Manager Suite. And this light blue right here, you'll have that in perpetuity. But who knows, maybe you'll find some of our other tools very useful and time-saving also. So editing line types natively, how do we do it? Well, there's a number of ways to do it. We can come into Express Tools. We can come here. We can create right here. I find that also to be a little confusing. Again, not so easy to share. We can go to our Design Center, and we can go and we can plug these. We can pull these from a line type that we have in another drawing. We can pull these in, but again, they're only going to live in that drawing. And yeah, you can dump those into a template if you want to, but then you're always going to find you're going to need more line types. And creating them is really difficult. We can also get at it from here. I think we all know how to get at it here. And then the dreaded line file itself, editing in here, the LIN that comes with it, picking through here, entering these things. I know I found that to be very difficult. So with Linetype Manager, what it draws on is, I have this is open. Linetype Manager will help you create these line types more easily. So we can use things like shapes and our text files, and it's going to pull all of our text files or our styles from whatever we have in our drawing. So as with all of our tools, nothing is proprietary. Everything lives in your drawing. We can get at to create our line types. So let's open up Linetype Manager and see what it looks like. So when you get it and you open it up, you're going to get this interface right away. So with this interface, we can grab one of those existing LIN files. I can hit here. I can grab these. I have put them into a line type folder of my own for easier access. You can certainly go get them from your support, wherever you have them pathed to, as we saw in when I pulled them up from the Linetype Manager. So some other things we can do here, we have our typical, looks just like all our other tools. We have our options right here. We can get you some help right here. This will pull up our user guide. And we have helpful videos, of which this will be one in a short time after this presentation. And then this is our about to find out what version are we in. We're currently on 24.4. So if you're not on 24.4, I suggest that you upgrade as soon as you can, simply by hitting the download button right there. So some of the other things we have the tools up here. So we have the open, I mentioned the new, if we want to create a new one. We'll show you that here in a minute. But we can make line types. We can pull these in from another drawing, import them into a LIN, or make a specific LIN file for them, eliminating the Design Center. So let me open our custom line type file here, our CTC. You might have your own type, like I mentioned, you might have for different other outside entities, governments, other consultants, what have you. So here's what's all in this drawing, or this line type file. So this one I started with the AutoCAD, the AutoCAD LIN that comes with the drawing, and then started adding some things to it. So some of these down here we can add to. We have two ways of looking at this. We can see what it actually looks like, which allows us to move these up and down if you want to put them in some sort of alphabetical order or other logical order you wanted to. We can move those around, or we can just have display only. So this, we can't move them around anymore, but we can see them just the same. So I'm going to leave it on actual right here. And I said we have filters too that to help us find things. So if we don't know what kind of line types we have in there, so if we're looking for a dot, we can just type dot right there. I could have just hit reset right there. Maybe we're looking for some sewers. Let's see if we have anything. So sanitary, we have one for an existing and a survey. So a couple different sanitary sewers in there. Then we have these line types that are actually in the drawing. Not sure if they exist in this LIN file or not. But we really want to see how to create them, which I think is even kind of fun. So let's create one from scratch here. So I see I don't have, let's see if we have anything for like a silt fence. I don't see anything. So let's make one that we might use for a silt fence. I'm going to show you something kind of fun here using the type wingding. I don't know if you've used this before, but we can pull these characters out of here. I'll show you what I've done here. Let me save that. So what I did was I put the wingdings in here, and they're by alphabet. So I put the alphabet up top there to see what we're getting if we want to use a symbol. And I'll show you why in a second. And they are different if they're uppercase or lowercase. So in this case, we're going to focus on these two symbols to make these two and these two to make two different types of silt fence lines. And you could use any of these other ones too. I don't have these lined up as well. But you see what I'm getting at here. So let's open Linetype Manager back up. And let's make a new one. If we want to edit one of these, we could do that too. Let's just make a new one. I want to keep this kind of short today because this really is a pretty simple tool, and like I said, kind of fun. So first one, let's make a silt fence. Let's make a light duty one. Might have a use for that. I might call it silt fence light duty. And my description. So this is just like it happens in your notepad, your description, all the same stuff that we get there. And I closed my notepad accidentally, so I can't pull that back up for you. But if you've had it open, and you probably have, you know how that works. So I'm going to call this the same thing. I'm just going to call it light. And so right when you open it, you start off, we give you this little thing to start with. I'm going to give this something to look at in our pane over here to kind of see what we're getting. Similar to what you would do in the notepad version of it. Okay. So like I said, we give you this to jump off with right away. And here's the intuitive part. We can see what we're doing when we're doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave that one there. Then I'm going to need a space. Let's leave that how it is. And then we've got line. So what we want to do is we want to add that. Should have pulled that out of the way. We want to add those symbols. I'm going to say okay here and save that so I can pull this out of the way so you can see. So the reason I did this because we want to use this TU and this VW right here. So let me go back here. It's going to go to the bottom by default. So let me come back in here, hit edit. And we can get at a number of different things. We can use text, we can use shapes. I'm going to add text right here. In fact, I'm going to just click on that right now too to show you some of the other things. So we've got, in your shape files, we've got all of these. Whatever are in your drawing, we can get at right here. So again, all these symbols are available. You see them populating at the bottom right now. So this is the intuitive part. It wants to land, I don't know what stone is. It wants to land where we have it in order right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that off of there, and I'm going to add the text. Oh, I already added a text. I'll delete that. So I want that to be not there. So I'm going to move it up in the list. And you can see it's shifting as we go. So I'm going to have a line, then a space, and then my text. So I'm going to move that up again. So we can see that's landing there right now. So the kind of tricky part about it is we have to know what text style we're using or want to use. And I think it was Wingdings 3. Have all 3 of those loaded, created. So then if I say, oh, you see how so TEXT, we've got these different symbols. So T doesn't seem to be it. Oh, that's because I got cap. I want lowercase. Maybe it isn't. Oh, there they are. Okay, so that is right. So now you can see how they come in. This is the intuitive part. So we got TU, these symbols. And then we need to play around with the size a little bit to see how those work. So let's leave that at 0.2 for right now. And now we can start moving our offsets. So we want to move it in the X. Let's go negative, I don't know, 0.5. Too much. Minus 0.2. Better. And then Y, probably 0.2 also. Just judging on the size of it is, that was too much. I think I said 2.2. As soon as you click out of it, you'll see it move. Oh, half, that makes sense. So we moved half the way right there. So then now we need another space in there. Let's move this space up. And that actually looks pretty good right there. So that's the way it's going to look at our 20 scale, which we have right here. Should look the same in our drawing. We can set different scales. If I change it, you can see it's kind of representative of what you're going to see in your drawing. So we're shooting for this 20 scale drawing right here. Maybe you would have different scales for your line types. I don't know, however you want to do it. So let's just say okay right here. And now that we have it created, we can load it into our drawing. So we're going to add it to our drawing. It's checked. It says status is add. You can say okay. You know, I think I have the wrong symbol. I wanted the light duty. I think I wanted the open one. So let me just go back here. And you'll see how this works when we add it. So now I want this VW, I guess. VW. So now my spacing isn't quite right. We can see I need to play with that some more. So let's start with this one. I think I need a little more gap right there. I see a little bit sticking out. Let's just try 0.5. And I know this one needs to be bigger. This is kind of the fun part. Try 2.5, because you can see it happening right there. So we see it happening. That actually looks pretty good. So let's see what that looks like. This one looks like it should be a little more. Let's try 6.5. So I see what it looks like there. If I say okay there, this is a better representation. That looks pretty good. I'm going to click this. I'm going to add it to the drawing. And since I already put it in there, it knows that it's there by the same name. So I can just go ahead and overwrite it. So I can say okay right there. Close it out. Do I want to save it? This is going to save it to my LIN file up here. I'm going to say yes. So if you're doing this, you might, CAD managers, you might create a line type. Someone might ask you for one. You might create it, and you can just tell them to go grab that LIN file again, and it will be there. So let's see what that looks like. Let me just draw a line right here. Grab it. Let's change that line type to that silt fence. Silt fence, light duty right there. Click it and see what it looks like. That looks pretty good. So first try. And I didn't practice that. Honestly, I didn't. So first try, we get exactly what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and let's make that also a heavy duty, which we shouldn't have to do too much to it. If we wanted this as a light duty with the open, a heavy duty with the close. Now I can come in here and I can just open my Linetype Manager back up. And for some reason, it keeps opening on my other screen. So if I click right here and I say I copy it, so now I have all of the same things. It lives right there. I can call it silt fence heavy. Duty, and I won't change this right here. I'll just change this right here to heavy. And now I should just be able to come in here and just change this to TU, as we saw before. And again, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to say okay. Click on it down here. Looks pretty good. We did it once. Now we have two different types of line type that we put in there. We have our name, our description, and just like our notepad, we can see there, and then the syntax right here, the code for what it actually is doing. If you wanted to copy that into your LIN file, you could do that as well. So I'm going to add that to the drawing. Hit OK. Close it. Yes, save it to that LIN file. And let's try, see what that looks like right underneath here. Silt fence, heavy duty, and there it is. So pretty quick, kind of even fun, like I said. Easy to create these line types. Don't have to spend hours doing them. So we talked about you could make line types from other things. Maybe you have a template drawing or something such as this with a whole bunch of different line types in here already, but they don't really belong or belong to a file of any kind. But we can make a file out of it. So if I want to make this a file, I can open Linetype Manager back up again. And I can import all of the lines that are in this drawing, not just the ones in that screen. So right here, it says that did not have the right shapefile. So then that's the problem. You would have to find that shapefile to get those shapefiles into the drawing that you need them in. But if I just say okay right here, it's going to show me a whole list of all the drawings or all the line types that are in this drawing. So some are already here, and some we can overwrite them. We can add these, what have you. I'm just going to add the ones I want. I'm just going to click this right here. In fact, I missed a step. Let me open that up. I'm going to say new right here. Yeah, I should have mentioned, I see a question just came in from Cole. I'll get to that in a little bit here, but if anyone else has questions, go ahead and answer or type them in right there. So I'm going to say new right here, and then I'm going to say, so that blanks it out. So if I say save as, it's going to take me to where I was. So let's just grab this one. We can call it anything. Yeah, I'm going to overwrite it. Now I can import these into this new file right here. So it's going to add all these. I just say okay, and it comes with their little description and everything to them. If I wanted to edit those, I could. I don't know why it's not letting me say okay right here. There it is. Okay. So here they are. Following complex line types. Oh, I have to do here. Okay, that's what it's telling me. So I need to make these, I missed that part. I need to make these how I want them to look when they come in. So do I want them upright, read well? I'm just going to make them all relative to line. This is why I didn't do all of them, because we do need to do these one at a time. But once they're in here, they're in here. Should only grab a couple, 2, 3 of them. We're almost done. So I say, okay, okay. And now we have it. And they're part of this lin file we just created. You could do a save as, make them something different right here if you wanted to. But I'm going to leave them in there. So if I just say okay, it's going to ask me, do I want to save it? Yes. And now if I come back to this drawing and I want to use one of those in there, I come to my Linetype Manager. And it knows that that one's there already. I'm going to pick on this top one right here. I'm going to add that to the drawing. Again, it's in there. Oh, I don't have the right text style. So I needed to check that text style. Arial, narrow. Apparently don't have that in here, but I could create one and then it would come in. So that's importing our line types. So we showed you how to create them. We showed you some of the simple, complex, and we imported them. That's really all I wanted to show you. I encourage you to get out there and play with it a little bit to see what you have. Okay, so there's another question. I'll get to that in a second here. So that's ending our live demo portion for today. I wanted to keep this to 30 minutes. So again, it's part of our CTC Sim Manager Suite. And for those who own it, you can just install the latest version where, like I said, we're at 24.4. We also have our project suite of tools. If you don't have and you want to get it, you contact your local reseller. Or if they don't offer it, you can contact us here at ctcsoftware.com. We'd be glad to help you out. And as always, if you have any ideas or need help, you can contact us here at support. We're always looking to improve our tools and make things better for you, the user. That's why we're here. So we love to hear your ideas and help you out with anything you might be struggling with. So with that, thank you for joining today. I hope you get out there and try it. It's free, and you get to have it forever. So thanks for joining us again, and have a great day. If you want to stick around for the questions, I'm going to get to those now.